Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa Flynn, and welcome to the latest edition of the Select Board Roundtable. Today is June 14th, and this is our first roundtable since our newly formed Select Board. So, thought we would start with just some quick introductions, talk about how we've reorganized the board, and introduce our newest member. So, Teresa Flynn, I'm going into my third year, my third term as a Select Board member, and I'm currently serving the role of Vice Chair.
I'm Beth Cassavant, and I am going into my 7th year now, and I'm serving as chair this year.
I'm John Samia. I am currently clerk. I'm in my 5th year.
And I'm Carlos Garcia, the newest member. Excited to serve my first term.
Welcome, Carlos. And our colleague, Michelle Conlon, was unable to be with us tonight, and we sort of made a commitment with each other that we would do our best to do this once a month, and recognize that some people will have conflicts from time to time. So, well, something very exciting for all of you that I haven't even told you yet, but behind the camera is Mark Serra from Shrewsbury Media Connection, and we've been talking about additional ways where we can communicate with the community, and we are going to take this roundtable and also create it into a podcast. So you don't just have to watch it online or on cable. You can listen to it on your walk, in your car, while you're trying to go to sleep. But we'll be launching that shortly, and we'll provide some more information. So thought we'd just talk about where we are today and why. So we are currently at the Senior Center. And one exciting thing going on at the Senior Center today is the first farmers market of the season. So farmers market every Wednesday through the summer, I think into early fall, from 2:30 to 6:30. And this is the first season that the town recreation department has taken over the running of the farmers market. It seems like there's a good crowd out there, and Missy Hollenbach ran it for 9+ years and was gracious enough to really help with the transition to the town. So excited to see that. And another reason why we're here tonight is because there is an Affordable Housing Trust Community Forum. Again, another way for the town to be in various committees and boards to be reaching out and soliciting community feedback. And our newest liaison to the Affordable Housing Trust Committee. So why don't you tell us why?
Yeah, happy to give sort of historical context for why we're here. So at the 2021 annual town meeting voted to approve the Affordable Housing Trust bylaw. So we've had that up and running for a few years now. And today we're here at this forum to solicit feedback from community members to really drive and get information about where the community wants to see us, how they want to see us reach our affordable housing goals. Right now we're not reaching our 10% that's mandated by the state, and I'm certainly honored and excited to see where this action plan will take us. Over the past month and a little bit longer, we held virtual roundtables with stakeholders and other community members to solicit some very early feedback to see, how do we want to attain that goal? How do we want to reach that 10% or, create deeply affordable housing? And I think there was a lot of great comments that were there that will be shared here today at this forum that will guide our mission to create more affordable housing in the town and preserve affordable housing. And yeah, I'm just, personally, as someone who moved into town on a Section 8 housing voucher, just really honored and proud to see our town really moving in this direction to solve this, crisis that's not only townwide, but across the Commonwealth, across the country, people feeling really squeezed and housing prices going up. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, it would be interesting. With the latest housing production plan a few years back, the demographic lifeblood of the community, 25 to 34-year-olds, had gone down, right? So as kids are leaving, like to come back, a lot of move to teach in the school system, but they can't afford to live here, as well as I think it was the 75 to 8-year-old cohort that also could not afford here. And ultimately for a community, it's the youth that comes here that continually revitalizes, and we need to figure out a way, particularly with some of the decisions that have been made by the community, being mindful, so people can continue to live here and not have that dilemma of, do I pay a bill on my mortgage that month, and what do I need to do? So it's a broader challenge for us to figure out. So it's great that that bylaw had passed, and look forward to you representing us on that.
I think we heard it last night too when Representative Kane came to our meeting along with Senator Moore to give us the update. Even statewide, right? We're losing the young people that aren't able to afford to live in the state, and that's a real issue that we have to contend with because it impacts our workforce and it impacts our vibrancy and our ability to stay competitive as a state.
They heard that across the board, that they can't. There are positions even at the state available, but affordability, because they're not paying enough, and they just don't have the people to fill the positions. And that goes directly to some of the crises that the state's facing, that they have positions available, but they can't get people to fill them.
Right, because those entry-level positions are usually held by young people and the cost of living here is just too high.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
There are so many facets to this, and I think it's important that we do look at, what is our plan as a town, because there's obviously a need, but, we've also seen it happen, more frequently lately with developers coming in under a 40B because we're not meeting our affordability threshold. And, to your point, the questions of, we're not at the 10% threshold, should we actively have a strategy to achieve that 10% and balancing that with, just meeting the minimum criteria versus really ensuring that we have the right type of housing for the needs of the community. So
And we would have come close to meeting that 10%, but two of the projects that were in the pipeline, the one on South Street that was an over 55 and the one at 104 Main Street, with the way that interest rates have gone up so high, financially became not feasible for the developers, and those projects aren't moving forward. And so we're back kind of at square one, looking down, and seeing no affordable housing opportunities in the future.
So it's been a little quiet, I guess, depending on who you talk to, since annual town meeting. I would say, successful town meeting. Budget was approved. What were some of the other major decisions we made? A land acquisition. We are preserving part of Prospect Park to remain as a park, despite part of it being used for the cemetery expansion. But it was nice to see a number of new town meeting members that joined this year, and I think that's going to be an ongoing initiative of ours to help people to understand what it means to be a town meeting member, how to engage, how to become elected. But we're also working with some individuals to bring town meeting members together throughout the year and look at how we can enhance communication. So talking about communication, one initiative, John, that you really helped to spearhead was our new office hours. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we talked earlier about community engagement in this very room with the strategic planning process as well, when a lot of different opportunities for the public to participate. Part of that strategic planning, the interfacing with residents. A year ago, to enhance transparency, or at least explanations, a lot of our stuff's complicated, or for opportunities for residents to talk to us, we enacted Policy 31 last June. It provides an opportunity at the beginning of our meeting, if some residents want to come talk about various subject matters, they can, within the criteria of the policy itself. We've had one taker. We understand that being in front of a camera is not ideal for a lot of people. 3 to 5 minutes can be somewhat limiting. So 4 years ago, a select person, Cassavan and I had done it. We had done it 3 times, and then the pandemic came. But we did start to get more traction. Residents came in. We had one time here for office hours, and it was really good. Residents came in, had a level of comfort, great engagement back and forth. So we started them again. All of us had a conversation. Everyone felt the same way. So we had our first office hours last night. Carlos was with me. We were there. We talked to residents, had some great conversations, opportunities to provide information, possible solutions, and given some feedback for us also to implement. So what we plan to do is have before the first Tuesday meeting of every month, 5:30 to 6:30, an office hour. It'll be mix and match. It's not going to be the same at any given time, but it'll be an opportunity to have great conversations, share your questions, your concerns. And we've also sent a survey out to residents with the idea of adding additional hours, but we're looking for feedback from now until June 30th when's convenient for residents to meet, and we expect to add hours for convenient at times as well for residents, just to enhance community engagement, provide opportunities to give us your feedback. And we enjoy hearing that. The strategic planning process was outstanding, through the mail, through pop-ups, through events, through here, a lot of presentations, but for any plan to be successful, we need the stakeholders' input, and we want to have a community that not only can thrive, but really reflects what our residents want. So it's just another opportunity for that. Next opportunity is July 11th at 5:30, the conference room A across from the Select Board's meeting room. So great chance for residents to come and tell us what you think or ask questions.
There's a survey open currently for alternative
Yep,
hours.
June 30th. Through June 30th,
June
we
30th.
encourage you to go on the town's website and please give us your feedback.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that office hour yesterday was really a great opportunity to meet face to face with folks. I know one of the residents commented that it takes a lot of courage to speak up at meetings. So the public comment period that we have at the beginning of our board meetings can be a bit intimidating to folks. So really encourage community members to really take advantage of those office hours to, talk directly to us. And it's a bit more intimate. It's less intimidating, and I think it's a great opportunity. So thank you for leading the charge on that.
Yeah, it's a team, right? And the
Right.
cool thing was, think about the subjects we covered. We covered climate action.
Right.
We covered the parks. We covered trash. We covered traffic, schools,
Yeah.
indirectly. So all these different subjects within an hour.
Right.
And it's great. And some are immediate feedbacks, and even job postings.
That's
hey,
right.
where are their job postings for the town? So it's just get to ask those questions that aren't comfortable on camera, and that's the goal. And we're available, happy to speak at any time, but it's also, we're coming out of the pandemic and those virtual screens. It's to actually have
Right.
that interaction in person.
I think it's a great sign that you had people come
It was great.
on that first night.
Yeah, the full hour was taken up.
Yeah.
You've already had more people come to office hours than ever come to public comment.
That's right.
Yes.
There you go.
And I expect more. I think that to continue to talk about it and mention it at our meetings and get to, all of us will be participating, just like I said, mix and match. It's just a great chance for us to meet residents.
Right, and there's no sign up, so we just
Nope.
ask people if they see that others are waiting to be respectful.
Yep.
And, if your conversation is going to take longer, just schedule another time to come and meet, and that way everybody who's there has a chance
Yeah, I agree.
to share their thoughts and ask their
It was
questions.
a good start. We look forward to meeting with as many residents as want to come see us.
Great.
Great. So another topic we wanted to hit on, so Shrewsbury is currently home to a number of migrant families. So Massachusetts is a right to shelter state, and the town is working with the Department of Housing and Community Development to provide support for these individuals and families. And Beth, I know that you've been working very actively with the town, with State Rep Hannah Kane, and you've done a lot, and we're grateful for that. Kevin mentioned last night at our meeting that there's already been a great outpouring of support, financial donations. I think he said it was up to $3,100. But I know that there's a continuous need for personal care items, and
Right.
thought maybe you could give us an update on how residents can help.
Yeah, so about 3 weeks ago, Mr. Mizikar received a call. It was about 4:45 on a Friday afternoon that they were going to be using a lodging facility in Shrewsbury. The state was going to be using it as an emergency shelter. And we just talked about affordable housing and how difficult it is because there is a real need for it, and there are no easy solutions, and it takes a long time to build affordable housing. And so these people need some place to go. These families need to be sheltered. We are a right to shelter state, the only one in the country, as you stated. And so we can expect to see the whole lodging facility used as an emergency shelter for the foreseeable future. And that means that there needs to be some real coordination on the part of the town and the schools and Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services and the state. And when it comes to the state, we've had great partnership between Representative Kane and Senator Moore, both of whom have been working on this quite a lot of hours in the beginning. It's not perfect. It's going to take time for things to get settled, to have caseworkers on site to manage the needs of these families, whether it be medical needs or immigration needs. They are not all migrants. Some are local to the state but homeless. Some are from like Boston or Springfield or Lowell. And in those situations, the school age children are to be transported back to their home district if that's what they request, or they can enroll here in the Shrewsbury Public Schools. And as you know, this time of year, we have like a week left of school, really. And so it is just a really difficult time to be trying to enroll children in school. And then again, the community support has been wonderful. What we are trying to do is meet the needs of the families, but also maintain their privacy. And so we are asking that volunteers do not try to show up on site if they, for some reason, understand where the lodging facility is located. But we did set up 2 donation bins. They are monitored daily and open for people to drop things off. We're really looking for personal care items, diapers and wipes, basically all sizes of diapers, pull-ups, things of that nature. And then toys was something that Representative Kane mentioned last night, educational toys, puzzles, books. And we do have a call once a week with everybody who is involved in this, and the calls were running an hour or more, and today it was like 15 minutes. So I think that really just shows that we are getting to a point now where we're starting to get into a rhythm of how we're going to manage people. The other piece of it too that's really challenging is there's no guarantee that the families that are there now are the families that are going to be there next week, next month, next year, because it is a population that tends to be transient. So making sure that we're able to know who's there and also what their needs are as far as school age children. And also we've been working with the recreation department to try to find opportunities for kids over the summer. So again, it's been a huge team effort, and I'm just really grateful for all the advocacy of Representative Kane to make sure that, you know, the families that are there are getting the help that they need so desperately.
It's been amazing. But so I know that on our town website there is a link to make donations and additional information. As you said, the donation bins are right in front of town hall, and you can certainly call town hall and if you have any questions, and I'm sure Beth, you would be more than welcome.
Yeah, it's on the website, but also all of those donations get taken to Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services, and then Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services goes and distributes them. And there are rooms within the lodging facility that are set up for things like donations of goods and materials and toys and things like that, so that they're getting to the right families who need things.
In addition to advocacy that both Senator Moore and State Rep Kane talked about, they did talk about a lot of other things too that impact Shrewsbury. The action-packed in a less than an hour of time, talking about the fiscal 24 budget, unrestricted government aid, Chapter 90 aid, talked about the grants that each person had passed or represent for our community. The one that Senator Moore said he didn't get passed, but that one does, or at least get it any further, which related to vocational schools, where he had talked about that was his one unsuccessful endeavor, but it really was successful because it continued the conversation. The last couple of town meetings, we've had the conversations about with Assabet no longer being available for our students, given the change in rules, what that means for Shrewsbury. And what the senator talked about was wanted to put forward a bill about really acceptance of students or accessibility for all students. But that didn't get very far yet. But in terms of being a problem for many communities, it's recognized. The challenge is funding. But there were a lot of different data points that were presented to us that positively impact our community for both, and we thank them both for all of their advocacy for our town.
Absolutely. All right. So speaking of our meeting last night, Taylor Galusha from the town manager's office, what is her official title now? Communications coordinator, assistant to the town manager, communication.
Oh, I butchered it at the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging meeting. I called her something not correct.
We'll just call her amazing.
Yeah.
So she laid out the communication strategy or strategic plan, and there's just so much that is coming that has been improved. I mean, the website improvements. She helps with the town manager's new podcast. We are going to be rolling out a quarterly newsletter that will be mailed to residents' homes. So really trying to diversify the ways that we reach out and the frequency that we reach out. But even just the improvements on the website, the ability to easily not only find what you're looking for, but to know what is going on most recently. So a calendar that calls out what is upcoming. But I think too, what we heard a lot, and I think coming off of the annual election cycle, it's always important to sort of listen to people, and we hear a lot that, oh, I don't have several hours to sit through your meetings. So one thing that we've done with Taylor's leadership is to create literally a very quick hit. This is what we covered at the select board meeting, and it comes out the following day, and it gives like the top 5 things, and it gives you links where they're applicable. And I think it's fantastic because it's just easy to digest, and it really helps people to identify, okay, here's where I might want to dig in and get more information, or at least hopefully we can mitigate what we have been hearing, which is I didn't know. So really excited to see how that whole plan evolves.
Same here. I was excited to just see that plan and to read through the communication action plan or strategic plan. Because I know going off the election and even prior to that, being on the finance committee, being a town meeting member, I constantly hear folks saying, they didn't know that this was coming, they didn't see it in the pipeline. So really thankful for Taylor's work and really getting that information out there and making the branding really nice. I mean, I think they're fun to watch, the little 10-second videos. They're very, very well made, and they're all very consistent too, which I think just kind of helps reiterate that this is a town notification. This is coming directly from either our office or the town manager's office or whomever. And I think that that's really great. And I'm excited to see more initiatives come out of the plan.
Yeah, some of the goals and strategies, I had to pull it out because there was a lot of good information in terms of determining the town's voice, improve access to information for all residents, measure and monitor communication tool performance, always looking to do better. So continuous improvement, improve outreach to community about non-emergency information, expand outreach specifically to target underserved residents. But it's an improvement communication with non-governmental town leaders. So it's all about improvement and enhancing the exchange of information with our residents. So it's not getting that phone call and saying, oh, I don't want to answer that because it's yet another one, code red or whatever it is, but it's targeted information. So when it comes through, they know it's important for them to do. And we need to not just go one way, not social media, that print media, different things work for different people, and have that consistency, Carlos, as you said, is very important. So it's really funneling that information in a coherent, cohesive, and efficient way that residents can understand. And everyone's busy, so they can't spend an hour watching our meetings or 2 sometimes, but get it in 10 and really get the high points.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. And so at town meeting, Taylor had created this little bifold, which was just a great stay connected Shrewsbury, and gave some quick highlights. She included QR codes, so it's easy to access links. But one of the items that's listed here that we wanted to note is that there is an open survey, community survey for our climate action and resiliency plan. So again, we know that sustainability is part of our strategic plan, and something that we've heard from many residents is a priority. So again, this is an opportunity where we want to hear from you, and we want to hear what's important to you. So I think the survey only takes less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 or 8. So again, it's on our website, and we would love for everyone to complete that as soon as possible. It's been open for some time, so it will be closing soon. And want to make sure we have everybody participate that's interested. So, all right, well, that's all I think we have for today. Anyone else have anything else that they want to bring up before our next meeting? Okay, otherwise, we did talk about the fact that we kind of want to make this a little bit of a roadshow going forward. And Mark said, unless we're in a moving vehicle, that there's really no restrictions on where we can go. So if you're watching and you have any ideas, whether it's a local community location, whether it is a local business, we'd love to get out there and also use it as an opportunity to maybe highlight or showcase some things or people within our community. So
I've seen Ask the Manager on Lake Quinsic. Maybe
I
someone wants to
did
take
see,
us
you know
out
what?
on
There
a
was
boat.
yeah, Kevin was on a boat one day.
If anyone with a boat is watching,
I think so.
that could be fun.
That could be. Well, until next month, everyone. Thanks for your time.